guys, this is my Q&A with a background of Deathless mode gameplay, and it's my high level character and it's Deathless mode Act 5. So I'm going to be answering your questions while you're watching this gameplay, and it does get quite exciting at the end with the last two bosses. And I'll show you the way I play with the gems, so it's basically unedited. But on to the questions. So there's a question from Aurea Parilla who asks, what is the fastest way of getting the Spectrum gem? And I believe they mean the Spectrum attack gem. Well, that was offered in a clash mob a couple of months ago, and that's basically the only way you can get a Spectrum gem. But you can get 2 dark fires in the game, and I've put a link to a video on how to get both of them under this video in the description. The next question is from Vincent Yu, and he's having trouble getting his clash mobs to appear on his map. So I gave him the fix video on how to get clash mobs to appear, but that still didn't work. So I would suggest contact Chang help@infinityblade.com and let them know you're having trouble getting them to appear on the map. Now the Flame Prince asks, what's the chance of getting over 100,000 gold at the gold chest in Act 1? Well, it's pretty random, but you will definitely get over 50,000 or 50,000 plus in that second chest when you're playing with Issa at Larioth. And of course you can boost it if you have a hexagon gold gem, which adds to your gold amount. The next question, I get asked whether the Vim helmet will be added to the game. Well, that's highly unlikely because Chang aren't releasing any more updates for IB3, and their next game is a new one called Spy Jinx, and then they have said they hope to return to IB in the future. So it's very unlikely any equipment's going to be added at this stage. And then I get told by Jake101 to stop using my dark fire. Well, no, I won't, because that's why I spent so long upgrading it and the second one, and that's what makes the game way fun. So I recommend you do the same and upgrade your dark fires as much as possible. And Type 59 asks whether it's possible to buy the SIRT Helmet from other people. No, because you can't buy Aegis Tourney items in Customize or the collector's items, except his last two. So you can buy the Balak and the Torrent's Legacy, but all his other items and Aegis Tourney items you can't. Or the Claymore blade, you can't buy that either. So you have to win it in the Aegis Tourneys. And John Dong Chen asked me, how long have I been playing IB3? Well, I've actually been playing it since it was released in August 2013. So that must be nearly 3 years now. So I was playing IB2 before that, but yeah, it's been quite a while. And Prane Krishna asks, how do you make the characters dance? Well, this is in Customize. If you look at the options on your right after choosing Customize, then there's an option for their poses. And I have got a video all about the Customize options, and I've put that under this video. But basically you have to pay some chips and you can get them to dance. They're the last selections on that menu. And Phyrus asks, what are the best swords to buy? Well, again, I've got a video on the best attack gear, but basically for Cyrus it's the Keldru with at least one bonus combo -1 gem equipped, and for Issa it's the Turian with 2 bonus combo -1 gems equipped. But also she has some others like the Sinestra and the Aegis Tourney Winterborn and the Snicket, and all of them give a bonus combo every hit if you have the gems equipped as well. So I've got a video on how to make a bonus combo every hit, and I've put that in the description under this video, and you'll see why those weapons really stand out compared to the others because of that bonus combo every hit. And I Am the Great asks, how many days will it take for Deathless mode items to be returned? Well, it's supposed to be 7 days and then they're returned to you, and that's in real time, not game time. But sometimes they do get returned earlier, especially if you complete an act and suddenly they get returned. But that doesn't happen every time, but they definitely get returned after 7 days. And of course you can go back in and try and beat the Titan that got them from you, so that's another way. Also, I recommend in future back up to iTunes to your computer, and you can always restore your backup if you do happen to lose. Jake Quitson asks, how do you make gold gems like the 37% gold gem? Well, to get the gold gems capped, because 37% is a capped gold gem, you need to fuse 3 lower ones together. And there isn't a definite way of making the gold gem in the first place. You basically have to get them from the ship or the store or a chest or a Titan drop. You can try a random fuse of 3 hexagon gems, but there's no definite formula to make one. However, once you have 3 lower ones, the gold gems, then if you fuse them together, you will get a higher gem. And if you have Gem Master skill, then you will get to the cap gem a lot quicker. A question from Zeldron Awesomeness asks, how do you not take damage when blocking? Well, basically, if you perform perfect blocks, you take less damage to your shield, and you don't have any element damage if you perfect block. So both with heavy and light, perfect blocks are the way to go, and I'm pretty sure you don't even take any damage with heavy if you perfect block, and I think it's half the amount of damage with light if you perfect block. And as I say, you won't take any element damage with either light or heavy if you perfect block. And to perfect block, you need to block late, and if you're using heavy, it's in the right direction. Kevin Gamer TV asks, what are the light weapon combos? Well, I've got a video on how to perform all combos for all weapon classes, so I've put a link to that video in the description under this one, so check that out. Andrew Boyer asks me to show the Wood Jester step backs. Well, I actually did that for IB2, and I believe he has the same step backs. Well, he does have the same step backs. So again, check out the description and you'll find a link to the video on the Wood Jester step backs under this video. There's a question asking, how do you get the Blade of Heaven? Well, you need to buy it from the store, and make sure you've got store or all selected in your character screen. Otherwise, if you only have inventory selected, then you won't see it. So at the bottom, select all or store, and you'll see the Blade of Heaven and the Axe of Heaven appear, and you can buy them. Mongvu asks, how do you get the solar trans to perform more damage? They've equipped the rare fire gem that they got from Baal Dragon, but they say it does no damage. However, when they fight the training golem, then it does damage. Well, that's because you're using it against a Titan or a boss with spectrum defense, and so the fire attack has no effect. What you need to do is use nullify magic and that removes the boss's spectrum defense, and also elemental titans that have that perk of spectrum defense. So as I say, use nullify magic and then your fire gem will have full effect, and any other element gem that you equip. Momin Shah asks about the collector's level, and I believe they're asking about when you first meet them. Well, although when I did the video on the collector guide, at that time the collector was level 100 when you first meet him. However, now when you first meet him, he's level 500, and each time you beat him he goes up, and if he defeats you then he will drop back down, and he goes right down to level 50 if you keep losing. Candy Buzzbomb asks, is Dragur immune to dark fire and element attack? Yes, all the dragons have spectrum defense. However, you can't use magic on them, so you can't use nullify. And basically you need to stack up on your green rare attack gems, or your green attack gems, and also the higher you have your dark fire, the more damage you will do, because even when they have spectrum defense, they still take 10% damage from your dark fire. Oreo Perilla asks, how do you get a Titan Break gem? They can't find them even in the store. Well, they will appear eventually in the store and in the ship, and again chests and Titan drops. The higher your awakening, the better the gems are that appear. So just keep playing and they will eventually turn up. Major asks, is it normal for no clash mobs, trials or tourneys to be on your map? No, there is always something on the map, even if it's just one clash mob. So I would do the clash mob fix that I showed again, and if it still doesn't work for you, then contact Chair, help@infinityblade.com, and I've put a link to the clash mob fix video in the description under this one. Charlie Frelick asks, who is the Zero Mech? Well, he was in IB1 and he's the Titan underground when you put the Infinity Blade into the stone, and there's 3 extra bosses that you fight, and he's the 3rd one, and when you've defeated him then your ancestor, Bill his name is, comes out of Zero Mech and you have to beat him, and he's like the last boss to defeat. But that's all in IB1, and in IB3 Zero Mech appears at the Pinnacle Monastery, and you don't get any other Titan coming out of him when you defeat him. Ryan Kim asks how to get the weapon from the plate map when now he's gone on to Act 4. Well, you'll have to beat the worker in Act 5, and then your game gets reset on the map. The golden chips stay the same and your gear stays the same, but all the map gets reset. So Act 3 will appear for you again after beating Act 1 and 2, and you can tap around again when you get to the pit. Dr. Banter asks about the magic nullifies level. Well, the higher your level of nullify, the longer it will last. So if you cast it and it removes the boss's spectrum defense, however, once it runs out, then they have defense to your dark fire again. So you'll have to recast it. And also if you equip magic gems, that also makes it last longer. And best of all is if you get ultimate magic skill, because then every magic is 10 times stronger or lasts 10 times longer. Sir Turtle WM asks about the chest at Larion and says he only got 50,000. Well, that's fair enough, as you will most likely get over 50,000 and sometimes up to 100,000. and this is when you're low level and open the chest with Issa at Larioth, and it's that second chest. So yeah, that's fair enough, because that will still be a lot higher than the drops that you get from your usual chests. And lastly, a question from Aiden Yu, and he asks, can the Spectrum gem from the Clash mob be upgraded like Dark Fire's? Well, no, it can't. It is just the 1000 Spectrum attack gem, and it was from IB2, so it's not really part of the game, but it is now because it was offered in the Clash mob. So no, it can't be upgraded as far as we know. However, as you know, I'm sure you can upgrade your Dark Fires. Well, I've nearly finished this Act 5, and I hope you enjoyed that gameplay. You might have noticed Issa fighting the God King with super fast attack, and I didn't put a Titan speed gem in, but I managed to get through that fight anyway. And you might have seen that I used a bonus combo supercharged gem with that God King fight, and that compensated a bit for not having a Titan speed gem in, and I used more super. And I got through this final fight fine, as you'll see, and now there's the worker down. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching tamLChannel, your favourite channel for Infinity Blade. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment and subscribe, and check out my website and social pages. Thanks, see you next time.